Okay, dear students, good evening. How are you? Once again, today I have brought 5 MCQ questions. But these MCQ questions are just like, you can say, cakewalk for you people now. Just like a rasgulla, you are just going to swallow them up. Hardly will it create difficulty for you because you people are well versed in the MCQ questions now. So let us start. Question number first. Which of the following factors contributed to the downfall of Razia Sultan? Which of the following factors contributed to the downfall of Razia Sultan? Point 1, Turkish aristocratic class. Or 2, her lack of administrative ability. Third, her being a woman. And 4, Mongol invasion. Choice, which of the statements given below above are correct? So, choice A 1 and 4, B 2 and 4, C 1 and 3, and D all of the above.
C.
1 and 3, yes, correct answer. Good. Question number 2. Which of the following statement or statements is correct or correct about? Which of the following statements are correct about Iltutmish? Point 1, during his reign, the Mongols under the leadership of Chengiz Khan invaded Delhi. 2, he adopted the policy of blood and iron. Point 3, he transferred his capital to Delhi. And point 4, he founded Turkan-e-Chahalgani. Go through it. Statements. मीनिंग तो समझ रहे होंगे आप लोग, हिंदी वाले, इंग्लिश वाले भी. जो इंग्लिश वाले भी तो लैंग्वेज तो वही यूज करते होंगे, स्टडी मटेरियल भी वही यूज करते होंगे. C, yes, good. You seldom commit mistake. It is a matter of great satisfaction for me that you seldom commit mistake. You are always doing well. Question number 3. Assertion. Akbar was a great empire builder. Reasoning. He extended his empire beyond the river Krishna in South India. Both choices are clear and statements are clear. Please take a stand and choose the right answer. Choose the right option, please. Be fast.
C.
Yes, C is the correct answer. Correct. Because not river Krishna. Akbar extended his empire up to Barar, Balaghat and Khandesh. You people are now, you can say, enlightened enough to understand this complication. He remained up to Barar, Balaghat and Khandesh. Which region did Humayun conquer upon his return from Iran? जब हुमायूं ईरान से इंडिया की तरफ लौटा तो किस रीजन को जीता? Point 1 पंजाब, Point 2 दिल्ली, Point 3 आगरा, Point 4 जौनपुर. Be fast. Which region did Humayun conquer upon his return from Iran? Be fast, my friends.
C.
C. Yes. Good. Good. Because you people already know that ki Jaunpur was ruled by Adil Shah, and Adil Shah was assisted by his Prime Minister Hemu Vikramaditya. So you are well aware of the fact. Quite commendable. Hardly will you commit a mistake. It is a great matter of satisfaction for me. Which Mughal ruler was the first to conquer Gujarat and Malwa? Choice A, Babur. Choice B, Humayun. Choice C, Akbar. Choice D, Aurangzeb. Be fast.
B.
B. Humayun. Yes. In website?
Both.
Both. Okay, good. So my friends, you people have performed well. 5 out of 5 questions are correct. Your achievement are quite commendable. Now we are moving to the rest part of political history. Political expansion, and here you know, in the rest of the part we have to move further. So up now, this is the point here left I have just studied. Up now we have to move towards Jahangir and Shah Jahan, you can see. Well students, here I have to inform you कि Jahangir, the time period of Jahangir was 1605 to 1627. Actually, Jahangir, he was the successor of Akbar, but hardly did he take much interest in extending his empire. You can say, preferred to consolidate his empire, you know. So here I have to inform you about some important events about the life and about, you know, the important events during the period of Jahangir, you can say. Actually, I have to inform you that Jahangir has done and did some you can say expansion. जहांगीर के टाइम में एक दो एक्सपेंशन देखने को आपको मिलेगा, जैसे उसी के टाइम में सुंदर सिंह बघेल है, उसने कांगड़ा को जीता था. तो एक तो इवेंट ये घटना ये हुई कि एट द टाइम ऑफ जहांगीर यू कैन से कि द सुंदर सिंह बघेला कंकर्ड कांगड़ा. तो दैट इंफॉर्मेशन यू हैव टू गेट. सो दिस इज द वन फैक्टर. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, जहांगीर डिडंट ट्राई टू कंकर द न्यू रीजन्स, यू नो. अब there are certain important events during the reign of Jahangir, so I have to make you clear कि what happened and what important events have taken place at the reign of Jahangir. जहांगीर के काल में कौन सी महत्वपूर्ण घटनाएं हुई, I have to inform you. जैसे देखो, पहली बात यह है कि 1611 में जब जहांगीर की नजर पड़ी नूरजहां पर, नूरजहां का पहला नाम था मेहरुन्निसा. Here I have to inform you कि मेहरुन्निसा was the daughter of Ghayasu Beg. So Ghayasu Beg was a Persian noble and he moved towards India while seeking a service under the Mughal Empire. So he was inducted into Mughal Mansabdari under Akbar. What is Mansabdari? I will make you clear while teaching you the administrative part, administration. So Mughal Mansabdari, and later he was accorded a higher place, you know. But when he was a Mansabdar, his daughter was Mehrun-Nisha. She was Persian and she was definitely, you can say, very beautiful woman. But she was earlier married to another Afghan noble. His name was Sher Afghan. So Sher Afghan, you can say, was having some scuffles with the Subedar of Bengal, and in a fight with Subedar of Bengal, there was some differences between the two. So in a fight between the Subedar of Bengal, his name was Kutubuddin Khan. So both were killed. So Mehrun-Nisha was widowed. So then some of the Jahangir's nobles from Bengal sent Mehrun-Nisha to Mughal palace in service of as an attendant to Salima Banu Begum, the wife of Akbar. So it was, you can say, Salima Banu Begum, the wife of Akbar. So she was in service of Salima Banu Begum. मतलब मैंने आपको बताया कि देखो, अब गयासु बेग का वो पुत्री थी, असफ खान उसका ब्रदर था, दोनों ने मुगल मनसबदारी में जॉब लिया. मेहरुन्निसा का निकाह एक अफगान से हुआ जिसका नाम था शेर अफगान. वो बंगाल के जो सूबेदार था उससे उसकी कुछ लड़ाई हो गई, कुछ संघर्ष हो गया, उसमें दोनों मारे गए. तो मेहरुन्निसा जब विडो हो गई तो उसको भेज दिया गया पैलेस में कुछ ऑफिसर्स के द्वारा, और वो सलीमा बानो बेगम की पर्सनल सर्विस में गई. उसी में in 1611 you can say Meena Bazar was going on. Meena Bazar was some sort of, you can say, This was a town in Mughal palace, and actually in the daytime, the court procedure was going on and the male members were active in palace and court, you can say. But in the night, the male members were going to their apartment. So then female were just, you can say, coming out from their palace. And a market was immediately, you can say, created, and they were doing purchases in the market, Meena Bazaar, you can say. So for the first time, the Meena Bazaar started at Agra during the period of Humayun. And at the time of Jahangir, it has been continuing. So Jahangir was moving through the Meena Bazaar. So his eyes fell on Mehrun-Nisa. And he proposed a marriage to her, and she was married to Jahangir. Then Jahangir gave her the title Padshah Begum. जैसे जब नूरजहां का जब उसका निकाह जब जहांगीर से हुआ, पहले तो नाम उसका मेहरुन्निसा था, लेकिन जब उसका जहांगीर से निकाह हुआ तो उसका नाम नूर महल या नूर जहां कर दिया गया. She was given the, what is the temperature? 26 crore. Her title was Noor Jahan or Noor Mahal. She was given the title like Noor Jahan or Noor Mahal. Wait, 26. Is it?
Yes.
So, and she was given the title Padshah Begum. She used to sit along with Jahangir in the court. She used to attend the court, and she was also accompanying Jahangir while on a hunting spree, you can say. मतलब जब जहांगीर शिकार पर भी जाता था तो मेहरुन्निसा उसके साथ जाती थी. Later you can say Mehrun-Nisa, the Ashraf Khan was his brother. So he was promoted to the post of Khan-e-Samang, a very important post. And the father of Noor Jahan, it was Ghiyasu Beg. So he was given the title Etmadud-Dawla. And he was promoted to the post of Wazir, the royal Wazir, you can say. So his family was ruling the roost, And the daughter of Ashraf Khan, her name was, you can say, Arjuna Mand Bano Begum. So Arjuna Mand Bano Begum was married to Shah Jahan, Shahzada Khurram. The earlier name of Shah Jahan was Shahzada Khurram. So Arjuna Mand Bano Begum was married to Shahzada Khurram. She was Mumtaz Mahal. She was Mumtaz Mahal, Or you can say, so in one sense, a junta, a group of four was created. Etmadud-Dawla, Ashraf Khan, Noor Jahan or Shah Jahan, all were having some sort of close relationship. But this close relationship could not exist for a longer time because Noor Jahan, the daughter of Noor Jahan was Ladli Begum. So Ladli Begum was married to another son of Jahangir. His name was Shahriyar. So now Noor Jahan was having soft corner for her own son-in-law, and she neglected Shah Jahan. So rupture created between even brother and sister. Asaf Khan favoring his own son-in-law Shah Jahan, and Noor Jahan was favoring her own son-in-law, that was Shahriyar. So in this way. Anyway, my point is, it was at the time of Jahangir, for the first time the Sisodia king, keep in your mind, Sisodia king, Amar Singh surrendered before him. Actually, Amar Singh was the son of Mahana Pratap. Mahana Pratap fought against Mughal emperor till the last. Even Amar Singh continued the struggle after Mahana Pratap for 20 long years. He had continued the struggle. But gradually you can say Jahangir was sending different expeditions against Sisodia. First, he just sent expedition against Mahawat Khan, and finally in 1613, he sent an expedition against the Sisodia king Amar Singh in 1613. So Amar Singh was compelled to surrender before Jahangir. So he surrendered, but he kept some, you can say, he took some promise from Jahangir. He humbly demanded and requested him that Jahangir should make him free from royal service. Because normally you can say that at that time, whosoever used to surrender before Mughal Empire. So the Mughal emperor used to induct this guy into Mughal Mansabdari. So Amar Singh, after all, he was bearing the legacy of Mahana Pratap, so he refused to, you can say, join job under a Mughal Empire. And Jahangir just conceded his demand. मतलब अमर सिंह ने सरेंडर तो कर दिया जहांगीर के सामने, लेकिन शर्त रखी कि मुझे राजकीय सेवा से मुक्त रखा जाए, और जहांगीर ने उसको सम्मान में राजकीय सेवा से मुक्त रखा. इन हिज कोर्ट, यू कैन से, in the court of Jahangir, in place of Amar Singh, it was Karn Singh who appeared in the court. Karn Singh. And Jahangir offered him a Panch Hazari Mansabdar status, and he accepted it. So in this way, you can say that there was the there was some sort of, you can say, there was peace between the Sisodia and the Mughal Empire. And Jahangir was so impressed with the father and son, Amar Singh and Karn Singh, that he basically installed their statue in the Agra, in the fort of Agra. Even presently you will observe that in the fort of Agra, the statue of Amar Singh and Karn Singh are standing here. So in this way you can say this problem. Now you can say in South India. In South India, Jahangir was not having any ambition. You already know the fact that Akbar had already captured the region Barar, Balaghat and Khandesh. You people are well aware. Jahangir did not make any extension. But in the politics of South India, there was a major change. There was the rise of a very ambitious Prime Minister of Ahmednagar. That was the Peshwa Prime Minister. His name was Malik Ambar. Malik Ambar was basically an African, Moor. He was from a Moorish origin. He was from Abyssinia. He was very ambitious, and he formed an alliance among 3 southern states, Ahmednagar, Bijapur and Golconda. And he just tried to rebuff the Mughal Empire from the region. So it was the compulsion for Jahangir to fight against Malik Ambar. So Jahangir sent Shahzada Khurram, to fight against the southern Indian states. And surprisingly, you can say, because Shahzada Khurram was definitely a very competent commander, Shahzada Khurram defeated the combined army of Ahmednagar, Bijapur and Golconda. So it was at the success of against the southern states कि जहांगीर gave him the famous title शाहजहां. मतलब मैं आपको बताऊं कि जहांगीर को कोई एम्बिशन नहीं था कि साउथ इंडिया में कोई नए रीजन को मैं जीतूं, बल्कि जो अकबर ने जीता हुआ था उसी से वो सेटिस्फाई था. लेकिन उसी समय साउथ इंडिया में अहमदनगर जो स्टेट है उसका प्राइम मिनिस्टर पेशवा के रूप में मलिक अंबर का राइज हुआ. तो जो मलिक अंबर था वो मलिक अंबर बहुत एम्बिशियस था. उसी ने अहमदनगर, बीजापुर और गोलकुंडा के बीच एक अलायंस फॉर्म किया और मुगल को ही खदेड़ना चाहा. तो जहांगीर ने एक शाहजहां खुर्रम को भेजा और शाहजहां खुर्रम ने तीनों के कंबाइंड आर्मी को हरा दिया. जहांगीर ने उसको खुश होकर टाइटल दिया शाहजहां. ऋषि का है. अब एट द टाइम ऑफ ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ जहांगीर यू कैन से कि वन सेटबैक टू जहांगीर वाज कि दिस वाज यू कैन से एट द टाइम ऑफ जहांगीर यू कैन से कि दैट वाज कांधार. सो कांधार वाज अंडर द मुगल कंट्रोल, यू नो, and Jahangir was having the very, you can say, warm relationship with Persian emperor. His name was Shah Abbas the First. मतलब Shah Abbas the First and Jahangir were having such a close relation कि Jahangir sent a Mughal painter from his court. His name was, keep in your mind because sometime in prelims they can ask you the question. Jahangir sent Bishan Das. Bishan Das was the painter whom Jahangir sent to the court of Persian emperor Shah Abbas the First in order to take the portraiture of the Shah and his nobles. So close relationship between the two. And the painters of Jahangir even drew a picture, portrayed a picture in which the Shah Abbas the First and Jahangir both were just shown embracing each other while the globe is lying beneath their feet. मतलब दोनों के बीच इतना क्लोज रिलेशनशिप था कि जहांगीर ने बिशन दास को भेजा कि आप इंपेरर, उसके जो पर्शियन इंपेरर, उसके जो नोबल्स है उसका चित्र उतार कर लाइए. और इसके पेंटर्स ने, जहांगीर के पेंटर्स ने एक ऐसे चित्र बनाए जिसमें एक पूरा पृथ्वी ग्लोब उन दोनों के पैरों के नीचे और दोनों एक दूसरे को गलवाही डाले खड़े। बट शाह अब्बास द फर्स्ट did the treacherous behavior to Jahangir. He was preparing himself for capturing Kandahar, because you already know the fact that the Persians were quite nostalgic and they were having the emotional attachment to Kandahar, not a strategic, you can say it was not strategically so important as for Mughal Empire, but it was emotional matter for them. So Shah Abbas the first, you can say, hastily captured Kandahar. And Jahangir was at that time not prepared. So Jahangir called Shah Jahan and told Shah Jahan to move on the expedition of Kandahar and try to reconquer Kandahar. But my friends, up to this period, the Mughal politics of Mughal court was going to be different, because Shahryar was already married and Shahryar was already the son-in-law of Nur Jahan, and Nur Jahan was having the greater influence over Jahangir. So Shah Jahan was worried about the fact that if I am just going to on the Kandahar expedition, so this expedition would be very long stretched. It will be too time consuming and I will be absent from the court. So in my absence, my opposite party will try to benefit from the situation. And they will just strengthen the position of Shahryar. So for that fear, he presented some condition before Jahangir. I will just go on the expedition, but you have to fulfill this and that condition. There were certain conditions. So Jahangir was going to be, you can say, going to be furious. How will you give condition to me? So Jahangir tried to punish Shah Jahan. So Shah Jahan revolted against Jahangir. So for some months, empire remained to be disturbed, and even the Kandahar was gone out of hand of Jahangir, you know, and some disturbances was remained there for some months, and then Shah Jahan finally moved towards South India. But even Shah Jahan moved to South India, but later Jahangir realized that after all, Shah Jahan was his most competent son, so there should have been some rapprochement between the father and son. So Shah Jahan was once again invited for talks, and both father and son sat together in 1625, and finally you can say that this rapprochement took place, you know, and then you know finally Shah Jahan and Jahangir came near to each other. Like Kandahar was already gone out of the control, you know. So मेरा यहाँ पर ये कहना है कि जब कंधार निकला जहांगीर के हाथ से, तो जहांगीर ने शाहजहां को बुलाकर कहा कि जाओ कंधार एक्सपेडिशन पर। तो शाहजहां को लगा कि भाई कंधार एक्सपेडिशन बहुत लंबा खींचेगा और मैं जब कंधार एक्सपेडिशन पर चला जाऊंगा तो मेरे एब्सेंस में नूर जहां अपने दामाद के पोजीशन को यहाँ स्ट्रॉन्ग करेगी। तो उसने जहांगीर के सामने कुछ कंडीशन रख दी। अब कंडीशन जानबूझ के मैंने नहीं कहा कि वो फैक्ट से आपको कोई मतलब नहीं है, कुछ था, रणथंभौर का फोर्ट दे दीजिए, नॉर्थ वेस्ट का रीजन पर कंट्रोल दे दीजिए, एक ऐसी आर्मी का इंडिपेंडेंट कमांड दीजिए जिसमें पूरे इंडिया भर के वॉरियर्स हों, तो वगैरह वगैरह। तो इस पर जहांगीर डिस्टर्ब हुआ और उसको पनिश करना चाहा कि भाई तुमने हमारे सामने कंडीशन कैसे दे दिया। तो इसी पर शाहजहां ने रिवोल्ट कर दिया। तो कुछ मंथ तक तो डिस्टर्बेंसेस रहा, फिर जहांगीर ने रियलाइज किया कि आफ्टर ऑल हमारा सबसे कॉम्पिटेंट सन यही है, तो इसके साथ थोड़ा सा हमको अप्रोचमेंट लाना चाहिए। कुछ दोनों के बीच फिर वार्ता हुई, दोनों सिट टुगेदर किया और फिर प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हुआ। लेकिन आपको मैं एक सरप्राइजिंग चीज बता दूं कि जहांगीर ने उसके एज अ जेस्चर ऑफ गुड कंडक्ट and as goodwill gesture you can say, and he in Mughal court Jahangir just you can say took under his control his two grandsons. His two grandsons, you can say, one was Dara Shikoh, another Aurangzeb, just like hostage as a token of good behavior of Shah Jahan. So they were the grandfather is making his two grandson as the hostage. अब बताइए कि जहांगीर अपने कोर्ट में दारा सिकोह और औरंगजेब को रखा कि भाई दोनों हॉस्टेज रहेंगे तब तक जब तक तुम्हारा गुड बिहेवियर ना होकर। एनीवे माय पॉइंट इन 1627 जहांगीर पास्ड अवे। अब आफ्टर द डेथ ऑफ जहांगीर, war of succession started. Here I have to inform you कि one of the sons of Jahangir I have not mentioned unfortunately, and one event I have not mentioned because this event is very important for you, but I have just missed. In 1606, Jahangir just did a very heinous act. Why? So in fact, his son was Khusro, and Khusro was the, you can say Khusro was the son from Man Bai, that was the wife of Man Singh, you know. So Khusro was the very most liked grandson of Akbar, and Akbar used to give a special treatment to Khusro. So Jahangir became apprehensive because Jahangir was already having the differences with Akbar, you know. So Jahangir became apprehensive about the fact that possibly Akbar is developing Khusro as his future successor, while surpassing the, you know, coronation of Jahangir. So it is due to this misconception he became jealous of his own son. He put his son Khusro in solitary confinement, you know. So in 1606, Khusro suddenly escaped from this solitary confinement, and along with some guards, he moved towards Amritsar. He moved towards Lahore. So as he started for Lahore, so Jahangir became apprehensive that possibly he was in a mood to rise in revolt against Jahangir. So Jahangir chased him for recapturing him, with the purpose of recapturing him. So Jahangir chased him, and Khusro was moving towards Lahore, but at the last moment, because just Amritsar is lying, you can say, near Lahore and Amritsar, you know, so he moved towards Amritsar, and he just, you can say, he went there, Amritsar, and he met Guru Arjan Deva and sought blessings from him. So Guru Arjan Deva just put a tika on his forehead. So as he was a rebel son, so Jahangir mistook her whole affair, and he brought a charge against Guru Arjan Deva that possibly Guru Arjan Deva was just inciting a revolt of and giving support to Khusro in his revolt against Jahangir. So due to this misconception, Jahangir tortured Guru Arjan Deva to death. So it was definitely, you can say, a very major mistake in the life of Jahangir, you can say, or otherwise Jahangir was not a religious bigot like later Aurangzeb, etc. But how did he commit such a, before this assassination of Guru Arjan Deva, there was the political cause. But this political cause was too much costly and too much heartbreaking. And due to this mischievous and this heinous act of Jahangir, finally you can say, the Sikh sect, which was a very peaceful sect, so that was transformed into a militant organization under Guru Har Gobind, because now the Sikhism started militarization under Guru Har Gobind, the son and successor of Guru Arjan Deva. तो मतलब जहांगीर के लाइफ का एक बहुत बड़ा मिस्टेक कह लो कि उन्होंने गुरु अर्जन देवा के साथ जो ट्रीटमेंट किया। तो ये एपिसोड और खुसरो वाला एपिसोड मैं आपको बताना चाहता था। और खुसरो के बारे में एक और मैं आपको बात बता दूं कि मान बाई खुद वो जो महिला थी, वीमन थी, बहुत जेंटल वीमन थी और मान सिंह की वाइफ थी, सॉरी मान सिंह की सिस्टर थी और जहांगीर की वाइफ थी फ्रॉम अम्बेर से। तो वो बहुत उदास, बहुत डिससेटिस्फाइड रहती थी अपने लाइफ से, क्योंकि उसको जो अपने हस्बैंड और अपने सन के बीच जो डिफरेंसेस हो रहा था उसमें वो सैंडविच्ड हो रही थी, शी वाज गेटिंग सैंडविच्ड। अब वो इतना नर्वस हो गई कि उसने सुसाइड कर लिया था इसी कारण से, मतलब शी टूक द हेवी डोज ऑफ ओपियम एंड कमिटेड सुसाइड। अब यूपीपीसीएस के प्रीलिम्स में एक बार बहुत पहले, अब ऐसा क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछते हैं, घबराना मत, यूपीपीसीएस के प्रीलिम्स में बहुत पहले एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि हु वाज द मुगल क्वीन that committed suicide while taking the excessive dose of opium. अब बताइए, ये भी कोई क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है, लेकिन उन्होंने इस तरह का क्वेश्चन पूछा. खैर एनीवे, तो ये हुआ. अब जहांगीर का 1627 में उसका डेथ हुआ. तो अब शाहजहां वॉज इन डेक्कन. असफ खान वॉज द at that time wazir, because he was promoted to wazir. Noor Jahan was promoting the cause of her own son-in-law Shahryar. Shahryar was in Lahore, but Ashraf Khan was in power, so he used the power. He sent the main army against Shahryar at Lahore, and quickly he sent his messenger to Shah Jahan to come to Agra as early as possible. Shah Jahan rushed towards Agra and captured the throne. Shahryar was captured. Shahryar was killed by Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan earlier even killed even Khusro, who was in solitary confinement. तो शाहजहां ने भी अपने ब्रदर्स को मारा था. मतलब शाहजहां के साथ जो औरंगजेब ने किया, तो शाहजहां भी अपने भाइयों के साथ कोई फेयर व्यवहार नहीं किया था. उस समय का स्टैंडर्ड ही पता नहीं क्या था. ये सेंट्रल एशियन क्रूएल्टी थी पॉसिबली, आई डोंट नो. खास के दारा सिको वाले केस में आई डिस्कस विथ यू कि दैट वाज द हार्ट ब्रेकिंग एपिसोड, यू नो. तो खैर, अब शाहजहां बिकेम द ruler, and the time period of Shah Jahan is 1628 to 1658. Shah Jahan. अब देखो, in Shah Jahan what happened, certain events I have to mention you. Actually, Bir Singh Bundela was a very close friend of Jahangir. Here I have to inform you कि Bir Singh Bundela was so confident to Jahangir कि Jahangir was irritated at Abul Fazl, who was the close friend to Akbar, and Jahangir was at that time was a rebel against his own father Akbar. So he had to punish Abul Fazl. So he deputed Veer Singh Bundela to assassinate him, and it was Veer Singh Bundela who assassinated Abul Fazl at the instigation of Jahangir, and he, you can say, he just, you can say, lost into the deep forest for some time. And Akbar was so utterly shocked at this event because he was having the greater respect for Abul Fazl. So Bir Singh Bundela was, during the reign of Jahangir and Shah Jahan, during the reign of Jahangir and Noor Jahan, Bir Singh Bundela was enjoying the higher position under the empire. And the son of Bir Singh Bundela was Jujhar Singh. But when Jahangir, after the death of Jahangir, Shah Jahan became the ruler, he sidelined Bundela family Jujhar Singh. And Jujhar Singh was neglected and he was shunted. So Jujhar Singh could not tolerate this. In 1628, Jujhar Singh revolted. So as he revolted, so Shah Jahan sent Aurangzeb at Orchha, that was his estate, and Jujhar Singh was punished by Mughal emperor and he was chased to a forest where he was killed. So Jujhar Singh was killed. Then here you can say, and Ahmednagar you can say. So Ahmednagar, and actually in Ahmednagar, not Ahmednagar, here I have to inform you, that Barar, Balaghat or Khandesh was the Mughal region. So it was the one province, Barar, Balaghat and Khandesh. So at the time of Jahangir, you can say, there was a Subedar there. Subedar was appointed there. His name was खाने जहां लोधी. तो खाने जहां लोधी, मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि जैसे आपको तो ये पता ही है कि अकबर ने बरार, बालाघाट और खानदेश को जीता था, तो उसको मुगलों ने एक सूबा बनाया हुआ था, सूबा. उसमें खाने जहां लोधी सूबादार था. इधर अहमदनगर का राज्य था जहां पर मुर्तजा निजाम शाह वहां का रूलर था. तो हुआ ऐसा कि खाने जहां लोधी जाके अहमदनगर के स्टेट से मिल गया, अहमदनगर के स्टेट से, और अहमदनगर के स्टेट से मिलकर और उल्टा मुगल रीजन पर हमला करना शुरू किया. सो इट वाज द रिवोल्ट ऑफ खाने जहां लोधी, एंड दिस रिवोल्ट ऑफ खाने जहां लोधी हैज टू टेक प्लेस इन 1631. तो खाने जहां लोधी ने 1631 में रिवोल्ट किया. तो Shahjahan punished him cruelly. He was captured and put to death. But after this incident, Shahjahan came to realize that now there is the only solution to Deccani problem. We have to annex Ahmednagar. my students, Akbar avoided the complete annexation of Ahmednagar earlier. The same story is being replayed, you know. At the time of Delhi Sultanate, I have told you, Alauddin Khilji followed the policy of restricted expansion in south because he already know the fact that due to the very developed method of communication, transport and communication, we cannot have the control over the region. So he just, you can say, he was having the limited control. But his policy was reversed by his own successor, Mubarak Shah Khilji. Then you can say Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Then Muhammad bin Tughlaq extended to the remote south. So here you can say Shah Jahan partially reversed the policy of Akbar and decided to conquer Ahmednagar. So in 1633, Shah Jahan conquered Ahmednagar and annexed Ahmednagar to Mughal Empire. So now in South India, simply Bijapur और Golconda were left. अब यहाँ पर एक मुझे कॉम्प्लिकेटेड चीज थोड़ा आपको समझाना पड़ेगा. अगर कुछ ना समझो तो आप हमसे पूछ लेना. ये लोग ओके हैं?
Yes. 2-3 क्वेरी.
क्या?
जैसे अलाउद्दीन कह रहे हैं कि सर व्हाट इज नूरजहां चक्र.
देखो, नूरजहां चक्रा नहीं अलाउद्दीन, हमने जानबूझ के अवॉइड किया था क्योंकि ये मेंस का या ऑप्शनल की चीज थी. तो जीएस में खास के पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री में मैं इसलिए थोड़ा सा सावधान रहता हूं क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री से बहुत ज्यादा क्वेश्चन तो पूछते नहीं कि पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री की जानकारी आपको चाहिए. जैसे आज आप लोग क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर रहे थे तो मुझे बड़ी खुशी हो रही थी क्योंकि आप लोग अब मेरे विचार से हिस्ट्री में बहुत कुछ जानने लगे. जैसे आपने मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री बहुत अच्छे से जान लिया, वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री जान लिया, अब आप कल्चर को भी बहुत अच्छे से समझ रहे हो. अब आप ही लोग बताओ कि ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस आपको किस सेगमेंट में आया, कल्चर में, मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री में, वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री में. तो थोड़ा सा आप लोग अपना अपना विचार, ओपिनियन दो. हालांकि अभी कल्चर अभी फिनिश नहीं हुआ है, कल्चर में आप फिनिश करूंगा, अभी टाइम थोड़ा सा और लगेगा. लेकिन अभी तक जो आप लोगों ने पढ़ा है उसमें क्या लगता है कि in which segment of history you are more comfortable? Alauddin, I'll reply your question. In which segment of history you are more comfortable? Either, you know, culture, modern history or world history. हम मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री, वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री भूल गए होगे, फिर आप रिवाइज करोगे तो याद आ जाएगा. लेकिन अपने अपने टाइम में पढ़ा तो ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल किस में फील किया? वो मॉडर्न वर्ल्ड में ज्यादा. ओके ओके. तो हियर आई हैव टू इन्फॉर्म यू कि दैट इज खाने जहां लोधी 1631. सो ही डाइड. And after that, Shah Jahan captured Ahmednagar, but Bijapur Golconda was still left. But Shah Jahan did some sort of an important job. Alauddin has asked me the question कि what is, you can say chakra. Chakra nahi, chokri. That is called junta. There is the concept Alauddin. Has he asked in English or Hindi? English. So Alauddin, in fact, junta of Noor Jahan is very famous. In fact, it is believed that when Etmaduddaulah, he was given the title his father, then Asaf Khan, then, you know, Noor Jahan, and the son-in-law of Asaf Khan, Shah Jahan, the four combined together were known as junta. And according to Veni Prasad, this was the junta which used to influence the Jahangir's policy. And Jahangir was working under the influence of junta. So this was the concept of junta. That is, in Hindi it is called chokri. इसी को बोलते थे अलाउद्दीन. ओके है?
Yes.
और भी कोई?
रंजीत कह रहे हैं सर कि why marriage in Muslim among family members is common?
ये तो बेकार क्वेश्चन. रंजीत, don't waste your time in this question, in sort of questioning.
Rest is okay, sir.
So here, you know, in 1633, you can say Ahmednagar was captured. So Bijapur, Shah Jahan make a deal with Bijapur. I will give you 1/3 region of Ahmednagar, but you have to accept Ahmednagar. तो खैर अहमदनगर में शाहजहां ने यहां पर विस्तार कर लिया। अब देखो शाहजहां के टाइम में दूसरा इवेंट क्या हुआ है। दूसरा इवेंट शाहजहां के टाइम में हुआ है कि मैं आपको बताऊं कि जहांगीर के समय कांधार निकल चुका था, मुगल इंपेरर के हाथ से कांधार निकल चुका था, लेकिन फिर दोबारा उस कांधार को शाहजहां ने लाया 1638 में। शाहजहां एक्चुअली देवर अली मर्दान खान वाज द गवर्नर ऑफ कांधार, सो शाहजहां मेड हिम डिफेक्ट टू द साइड ऑफ मुगल्स। सो 1638 में फिर शाहजहां के टाइम में कांधार एक बार फिर आ गया। फिर मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि शाहजहां के टाइम में एक इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट है जो आई हैव टू इन्फॉर्म यू कि ये सेंट्रल एशिया में, जो आपको याद होगा उज्बेक इंपायर, अब्दुल्ला खान उज्बेक। सो अब्दुल्ला खान उज्बेक was just like a major headache for the Mughal empire. I have told you कि अकबर had to stay at Attock for 12 long years due to the fear of Abdullah Khan Uzbek, you know. लेकिन अब after the death of Abdullah Khan Uzbek, the situation was going to undergo a drastic change. अब्दुल्ला खान उज्बेक के बाद क्या हुआ कि जैसे सेंट्रल एशियन कोई भी जब इंपायर होता था तो उनमें एक गलत ट्रेडिशन था। वो गलत ट्रेडिशन ये था कि जो मेन रूलर मरते थे उसके बाद उनका इंपायर उनके सक्सेसर्स के बीच डिवाइड हो जाता था। सो इनफैक्ट देयर वाज द रॉन्ग प्रेसिडेंट इन द सेंट्रल एशियन इंपायर कि इनफैक्ट देयर वाज अ बैड ट्रेडिशन ऑफ द पार्टीशनिंग ऑफ इंपायर अमॉन्ग सक्सेसर्स आफ्टर द डेथ ऑफ अ मेन किंग। So due to this phenomena, you can say that the empire, Uzbek empire of Abdullah Khan Uzbek was divided in different parts. So one of the grandson of Abdullah Khan Uzbek was Najar Muhammad. So Najar Muhammad was owning the region of Balkh and Bukhara. तो नजर मोहम्मद के पास बल्ख एंड बुखारा था और उसका बेटा था, उसका नाम था अब्दुल अजीज। वो नजर मोहम्मद के अगेंस्ट में रिवोल्ट कर दिया और उसे बुखारा का रीजन छीन लिया। उसके पास केवल बल्ख रीजन था। तो बल्क रीजन था तो उसने शाहजहां से सहायता मांगी। इसको कहते हैं बल्क एक्सपेडिशन। जैसे कभी हो सकता है प्रीलिम्स में आपसे पूछ दे, मैं इसलिए बता रहा हूं कि ड्यूरिंग द पीरियड ऑफ व्हिच मुगल एम्पायर दिस सो कॉल्ड बल्क एक्सपेडिशन हैज टेकन प्लेस। तो यू विल आंसर द क्वेश्चन कि दिस बल्क एक्सपेडिशन हैज टेकन प्लेस एट द टाइम ऑफ शाहजहां। तो क्या है कि अब अब्दुल्ला खान उज्बेक का जो पोता जो था नजर मोहम्मद, जब उसके बेटे ने रिवोल्ट कर दिया, सो नजर मोहम्मद साउट द हेल्प फ्रॉम शाहजहां अगेंस्ट हिज सन अब्दुल अजीज। सो शाहजहां ट्राई टू ऑब्लाइज हिम। अब देखो, अब कोई अगर आपका एनिमी है, जो आपका राइवल रहा है, वो आपसे मदद मांग रहा है, हेल्प मांग रहा है, आपका एक ईगो भी सेटिस्फाई होता है कि चलो उसको मैं हेल्प करूं, तो उससे हम थोड़ा अपना बड़प्पन भी है, उसमें एक सेंस ऑफ ग्लोरी फील होती है। तो शाहजहां को भी लगा कि चलो उसको हम हेल्प करते हैं। तो शाहजहां डिप्यूटेड हिज सन मुराद बख्श कि गो ऑन द एक्सपेडिशन और जस्ट ट्राई टू हेल्प नजर मोहम्मद एंड यू हैव टू एक्ट अकॉर्डिंग टू द एडवाइस ऑफ नजर मोहम्मद। लेकिन जो मुराद बख्श था वो बहुत ही मतलब सिर फिरा था। ही यू कैन सी ए स्पॉइल्ड होल प्लान एंड ही आफ्टर गोइंग टू बल्क ही स्टार्टेड टू डील विथ नजर मोहम्मद एज इफ he was a sovereign king and Najar Muhammad was his subordinate. So Najar Muhammad became worried and he fled away from his capital and then he defected to the side of his son Abdul Aziz, and Murad Bakhsh had to capture his capital. So Murad Bakhsh made Shahjahan involved into extravagant and useless war in bulk. मतलब एक बड़ा अजीब सी बात हुई। ये चला था नजर मोहम्मद को हेल्प करने, लेकिन वहां पर इसने नजर मोहम्मद को ही इरिटेट कर दिया, उसी से लड़ बैठा। अब दोनों के बीच वहां पर संघर्ष छिड़ गया। ये गया था बचाव करने, जो श्रीलंका में इंडिया के साथ हुआ वही हुआ, और उल्टा नजर मोहम्मद बाप बेटे मिल गए और इसी से लड़ने लगे। अब शाहजहां के लगभग 12 करोड़ रुपए बल्क में खर्च हुए और यूजलेस वॉर में फंस गया। कुछ होना भी नहीं था, मुगल प्रेस्टीज को भी धक्का लगा। तो उसने बाद में औरंगजेब को भेजा। तो औरंगजेब वेंट ऑन द एक्सपेडिशन एंड औरंगजेब फाइनली सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम एंड ही स्मूथली विड्रू फ्रॉम दिस बल्क रीजन, बट इट वाज टू मच कॉस्टली एक्सपेडिशन फॉर द मुगल एम्पायर, यू नो। तो ये है बल्क एक्सपेडिशन, ये फेलियर, इट वाज एन अटर फेलियर। एंड बल्क एक्सपेडिशन में जो मुगल पावर एंड प्रेस्टीज को एक जोल्ट लगा, इनफैक्ट द बल्क एक्सपेडिशन रिसीव्ड अ मेजर जोल्ट टू द पावर एंड प्रेस्टीज ऑफ मुगल एम्पायर। So having been emboldened by the Mughal failure, then you will come to know कि finally even Persians once again recapture Kandahar. So 1648 में, here I have to inform you कि 1648 में कांधार फाइनली शाहजहां के हाथ से निकल गया, मुगल एम्पायर के हाथ से निकल गया। So my friends, if someone is going to ask you the question कि during the reign of which Mughal emperor finally this Kandahar, you can say, went out of the control of Mughal Empire. So your answer is Shah Jahan, because Jahangir lost Kandahar, but Shah Jahan earlier regained Kandahar. But once again, this Kandahar was, you can say, gone from the control of Shah Jahan in 1648. So finally he lost. Now I have to inform you that in 1658, Shah Jahan fell ill. So as Shah Jahan fell ill, so his 4 sons were the very talented but very ambitious. His eldest son was Dara Shikoh, and Dara Shikoh was his favorite son, you know. In the part of culture, I will make you clear that Dara Shikoh was so liberal, such a great scholar, and what did he do for Hindu-Muslim amity in India. So I will discuss this aspect in culture part. लेकिन दारा शिकोह बड़ा ही कॉम्पिटेंट था, Shahjahan developed Dara Shikoh as his successor and gave him the title Wali Ahad and deputed him in the court. Second one son was Murad Bakhsh. He was the Subedar of Gujarat. Aurangzeb was sent to Deccan, and he was the Subedar of Deccan, Aurangzeb. And then you can say, finally you will come, the Subedar of Bengal was Shuja, that was the another son. So Dara Shikoh first, Shuja second, Aurangzeb third, and Murad Bakhsh fourth. They were appointed here and there. So once Shah Jahan fell ill, so it encouraged the ambition of his other sons. So here you will come to know कि from South India started, Aurangzeb started for Agra. Murad Bakhsh started from Gujarat towards Agra. And Shuja started from Bengal for Agra. All were keeping their greedy glance over the throne. तो ये सभी थ्रोन को पाने के लिए आगरा की तरफ मूव कर रहे थे। अब शाहजहां was himself ill and Dara Shikoh was not the important commander. So he sent his son Suleiman Shikoh against Shuja with the main army. So Suleiman Shikoh defeated Shuja at Banaras and started to chase him up to Bihar. अब देखो सुलेमान शिकोह कितना अनारी खिलाड़ी निकला कि जब उसने सुजा को, थोड़ा सा टेम्परेचर को 25, माने ही डिफीटेड सुजा इन बनारस, तो उसके बाद उसको छोड़ देता, वापस आ जाता। अब उसको पीछा करता हुआ निकल गया, तब तक इधर औरंगजेब डेक्कन से बढ़ गया और मुराद बख्श गुजरात से आया, दोनों मालवा में मिले और दोनों के बीच एक अलायंस बन गया, औरंगजेब और मुराद बख्श के बीच, और दोनों ने तय किया कि हम दोनों मिलकर जीतेंगे और 2/3 पार्ट औरंगजेब का होगा, 1/3 पार्ट मुराद बख्श का। तो बोथ मेड एन अलायंस। अब दारा शिकोह हेस्टिली सेंट जसवंत सिंह, a Mughal mansabdar, he was the very competent Mughal mansabdar, to fight against Aurangzeb. अब जसवंत सिंह came to face Aurangzeb, so he came to realize that कि Aurangzeb was not all alone, but even Murad Bakhsh was sitting together with him. But he fought the Battle of Dharmat in April 1658. He fought the Battle of Dharmat. But in Battle of Dharmat, you can say in April 1658, Jaswant Singh was defeated. So Jaswant Singh was defeated, you know, and Aurangzeb just moved towards Agra. So in hastily, once again, Jaswant Singh came with another army, and in this army even Dara Shikoh led this army. So there was the Battle of Samugarh in May, and in Samugarh Dara Shikoh was defeated. So after having been defeated in Samugarh in May, in 29 May, then Dara Shikoh fled from his capital with his wife and other members of the family. तो दारा शिकोह इधर उधर घूमता रहा, एंड फाइनली यू कैन सी इन मार्च 1959, Dara Shikoh finally lost the Battle of Devrai. That was called the Battle of Devrai. और इन देवराय का बैटल दारा सिकोह ने फाइनली औरंगजेब से हार गया। और इधर औरंगजेब जब सामूगढ़ का बैटल जीता तब वो आगरा के फोर्ट को घेरा। कभी कभी आप आगरा के फोर्ट पर जाओगे तो इतना प्रोटेक्टेड है नेचुरली कि आगरा के फोर्ट में लगता है कोई इन कर ही नहीं सकता। तो जहांगीर वहां पर शाहजहां वहीं बीमार था परंतु ठीक हो गया था एंड ही वाज स्टेइंग इन फोर्ट ऑफ आगरा। तो शाहजहां सरेंडर करे, नहीं तो फोर्ट को तोड़ना होता, जो कि अपना ही फोर्ट था और उसके लिए तो कैनन्स वगैरह की जरूरत पड़ती। तो उसने क्या किया कि वहां का वाटर का डिस्कनेक्ट कर दिया, तो शाहजहां सरेंडर कर गया। तो शाहजहां को ही अरेस्टेड एंड पुट इनटू मुसलमान बुर्ज इन द सेम फोर्ट। फिर उसने दारा सिकोह को पकड़ा, गिरफ्तार करवाया और गिरफ्तार करवा के उसको बहुत पब्लिक ह्यूमिलिएशन देकर और उसको डेथ सेंटेंस दे दिया। एंड चार्ज वॉज ब्रॉट अगेंस्ट दारा सिकोह कि ही जस्ट broke the peace of the empire and he, after breaking the peace of the empire, and then he even, you can say, he has been turned to be a heretic, मतलब धर्म विरोधी है। इसी के आधार पर he was beheaded। और उसका गला हुआ कटा हुआ गला लेकर सोच सकते हो कि एक थाल में सजाकर उसने शाहजहां को प्रेजेंट किया। भाई इस तरह का हेटर्ड, इस तरह का मतलब क्रूअल्टी, इट वाज अनपैरेलल। और इस तरह से फिर उसने दूसरे भाई सूजा को भी मरवा डाला और फिर मुराद बख्श जिससे उसका अलायंस हुआ पड़ा था उसको भी उसने कैप्चर कर लिया। उस पर एक फॉल्स चार्ज लगाया मर्डर का एंड मुराद बख्श वाज हैंग टू डेथ। So he killed all the three brothers and he declared himself to be the emperor of Delhi once again in 1659. So thus started the era of Aurangzeb, starting from 1659 to 1707. आपको मैंने मैटर में भी सब मैटर तो मैंने आपको दिया हुआ है। औरंगजेब का भी आप टाइम पीरियड देखोगे। औरंगजेब, अब औरंगजेब के टाइम में आप देखोगे कि इसके टाइम में कई रिवोल्ट हुए हैं, कई रिवोल्ट। जैसे अफगान रिवोल्ट इन नॉर्थ वेस्ट में, भागू ही क्रश द अफगान मूवमेंट। जैसे अफगान में उसके सबसे पहले जाटों ने किया, तो जाट रिवोल्ट में पहला रिवोल्ट हुआ था 1667 में। वो हुआ था बेसिकली गोकुला जाट ने रिवोल्ट किया था मथुरा में। और फिर 1685 में राजा राम जाट ने रिवोल्ट किया, तो जाट रिवोल्ट। फिर सतनामी रिवोल्ट, इट वॉज रिलीजियस सेक्ट एंड इट वॉज द फॉलोअर ऑफ कबीर दास। सो लोअर क्लास पेजेंट्स वेर दे रिवोल्टेड, जहांगीर क्रश्ड विद द आयरन हैंड इन 1672 सतनामी रिवोल्ट। देन अफगान रिवोल्ट अंडर भागू इन 1669, अफगान रिवोल्ट। Then you can say even the Rajput revolt, that was the Rathors and Durga Das Rathor taking Ajit Singh, the son of Jaswant Singh, he revolted. And Aurangzeb even tried to crush the revolt, but this revolt took a long time because Durga Das Rathor went into the forest and he carried the revolt till the last. तो दुर्गा दास राठौर भी इस रिवोल्ट को जारी रखा, वो फिनिश नहीं हो पाया। लेकिन इसमें जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट रिवोल्ट है वो मराठा में शाहजी ऑर्गेनाइज द मराठा पावर एंड देन देयर वाज द राइज ऑफ शिवाजी। एक्चुअली द स्टोरी ऑफ शिवाजी इज अ वेरी लॉन्ग स्टोरी, क्योंकि शिवाजी का जो केस है वो ये है कि वो द सन ऑफ शाहजी एंड हियर यू कैन सी बेसिकली द मराठाज वेर द नोबल्स, दे वेर द लैंडलॉर्ड्स। So gradually they gained the power in South India under the state of Ahmednagar. Under the state of Ahmednagar they gained the power. And then they became too much powerful, and gradually they built their forts and they acquired the military strength. तो शाहजी का जब स्थिति यह थी कि शाहजी तो एक नोबल ही रह गया, लेकिन शिवाजी ज्यादा पावरफुल हो गया। और शिवाजी का एक दो बार औरंगजेब ने शिवाजी के अगेंस्ट में एक्सपेडिशन भी भेजा साउथ इंडिया में। जैसे आप देखोगे 1663 में उसने शाइस्ता खान को भेजा 1660 में। तो शाइस्ता खान को तो शिवाजी ने आउटविट कर दिया, मतलब शिवाजी ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ गुरिल्ला टैक्टिक्स ही डिफीटेड एंड ह्यूमिलिएटेड शाइस्ता खान। तो फिर 1665 में थोड़ा एक टेम्परेचर बढ़ा दो कुल। इन 1665 उसने मिर्जा जय सिंह को भेजा, तो जय सिंह ने शिवाजी को घुटने टेकने के लिए मजबूर किया और कुछ समय तक शिवाजी और औरंगजेब के बीच एक अलायंस भी होने की नौबत आई, लेकिन वो अलायंस अधिक समय तक नहीं चल पाई। दोनों के बीच एक मित्रता हुई लेकिन टूट गई और शिवाजी को गिरफ्तार करके डाल दिया औरंगजेब ने वहीं आगरा में। बट शिवाजी जस्ट fled, you can say, just escaped from this confinement with the proper machination, you can say। तो शिवाजी वहां से निकल भागा। फिर शिवाजी ने पावर गेन किया और शिवाजी ने 1676 में 1674 में बड़े धूमधाम से रायगढ़ में अपना कोरोनेशन किया। सो शिवाजी नाउ बिकेम द किंग। सो द मराठा किंगशिप स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम दिस टाइम, मराठा किंगशिप। And then Shivaji even captured Bijapuri Karnataka region, you know, in this region, and he created a powerful Maratha state. But Aurangzeb was so busy in North India at that time that he could not come to South India. It was in 1681 while chasing his rebel son Akbar, मतलब औरंगजेब का भी एक रिबेल सन था जिसका नाम अकबर था। So he was chasing Akbar, और while chasing Akbar, औरंगजेब moved towards South India. Aurangzeb moved towards South India, you know, and after coming to South India, then Aurangzeb could never went to North, you know. He was involved into the case of South India. अब Aurangzeb came to this conclusion that the only solution to Deccani problem is the complete annihilation of the state of Bijapur and Golconda. अब यहाँ पर थोड़ा तुमको नोटिस यह करना है कि अहमदनगर का अनेक्सेशन तो शाहजहां ने ही कर दिया था और औरंगजेब ने यह बात इंफेसाइज किया कि हमको बीजापुर और गोलकुंडा को भी टोटल अनेक्स करना है, तभी हम इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर पाएंगे। इन 1687 यू कैन से औरंगजेब कैप्चर्ड बीजापुर। इन 1687 औरंगजेब कैप्चर्ड बीजापुर and sorry, in 1686 captured Bijapur, and in 1877 he captured Golconda. अब बीजापुर गोलकुंडा का अनेक्सेशन किया और यहीं से औरंगजेब का ट्रेजेडी शुरू हुई। क्योंकि देखो, अगर औरंगजेब कुड हैव स्टेड हियर, अब औरंगजेब की गलती कहां कहां हुई, जैसे when Aurangzeb came to South India in 1681, Shivaji was not there. Shivaji already passed away. In 1680 Shivaji passed away. And Aurangzeb moved to South India in 1681. So then he was busy in annexing Bijapur and Golconda first. After annexing Bijapur and Golconda, then he tried to solve the Maratha problem. So here you can say in Maharashtra there is the fort of Sangameshwar. So Shivaji just, you can say, Shivaji just made an attack on the, Aurangzeb sent an expedition against this fort of Sangameshwar. So here it was Shambhuji, the son of Shivaji. So he was captured along with the members of his family, his son Sahu, his wife Yashubai, etc. तो उसको औरंगजेब ने अपने कन्फाइनमेंट में ले लिया। अब जैसे बीजापुर गोलकुंडा को उसने जीता हुआ था, जरा सोचो, अब अगर औरंगजेब एक बुद्धिमानी करता ही, कुछ अपना इंटेलिजेंस, थोड़ा सा अपना प्रैग्मेटिक पॉलिसी दिखाता और वह किसी तरह से शाह जी से अप्रूवल ले लेता बीजापुर गोलकुंडा का, उससे एक ट्रीटी कर लेता, तो उसके लिए ज्यादा बेहतर था, एक लेजिटिमेसी भी मिल जाती। उसने क्या किया कि ही टॉर्चर्ड शाहजी टू डेथ। So he tortured Shahji to death. So that was going to be a bigger challenge. As he tortured Shahji to death, you know. So earlier you can say, after all, Shahji was a Maratha leader and the Maratha king. So different Maratha leaders were following his command. अब as Maratha king Shahji was not on the scene and his region was captured by Aurangzeb, so now different Maratha nobles started an struggle against Mughal Empire in the name of Shahji. So now Aurangzeb had to fight against the non-state actors. And as he had to fight a non-state actor, so Aurangzeb could not, you can say, control the situation, because it became a long fight, moving from one region to another region, you can say. And he tried to rally more and more. Maratha nobles rallied in the name of Shahji. So Maratha movement took a very popular character, और औरंगजेब could not recognize it. उसको औरंगजेब समझ ही नहीं पाया. And Aurangzeb committed second one mistake, Second one mistake was, if Aurangzeb could have, after conquest of Bijapur and Golconda, Aurangzeb could have stayed there and tried to consolidate his power in Bijapur, Golconda itself, so he might have controlled the situation to certain extent. But he once again committed a major mistake through taking a decision that now the Mughal Empire had to extend up to remote south while crossing the river Krishna and reach up to Kanyakumari. So he unconsciously overstretched the Mughal border. So Mughal border became a prone to persistent Maratha attack based on guerrilla tactics. उसने एक क्या गलती की, उसने सोचा कि मैं मुगल सीमा को कृष्णा नदी से पार कन्याकुमारी तक ले जाऊं, कन्याकुमारी तक जीत लूं. तो उससे क्या हुआ कि मुगल सीमा और भी लंबी हो गई और मराठों का जो इन्वेजन है उसे प्रोन हो गई. सो इट बिकेम अ वेरी इजी प्रे टू मराठा इन्वेजन. So Aurangzeb could not control the situation, and finally Aurangzeb decided to return to north. And he started to return to north gradually, and he was moving to north. So it was near Ahmednagar at Aurangabad he died. And just like that Shakespearean tragic hero, he was having a very bitter realization of his life. It is said about a Shakespearean tragic hero that he dies, but he dies with a better understanding of the world. So the same happened in case of Aurangzeb himself. The last realization of Aurangzeb was कि आज मांग हमांग फसाद बाकी, I am the bone of contention. मतलब औरंगजेब ने शेक्सपियर का जो एक त्रासद नायक होता है, ट्रेजिक हीरो होता है, उसके बारे में कहा जाता है वो मरता है परंतु इस दुनिया की बेहतर समझ लेकर मरता है. तो औरंगजेब इसी बेहतर समझ लेकर मरा कि मैं ही सारे झगड़े की जड़ हूं. And he died in 1787. So thus ended the story of Mughal Empire up to the period of Aurangzeb. After that आप लोग मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री में देखेंगे कैसे आगे हुआ. So this is the political history. Political history ends here. Then we have to move to other segment. Okay. Or Mr. Ankur, is the okay?
Gaurav question sir, why Aurangzeb coronation twice?
For the first time, just Gaurav, I am replying your question. For the first time, Aurangzeb performed his coronation whenever he was as the governor of or Subedar of Deccan, because he had to move towards north. So in order to legitimize his position as the future king, he performed his coronation. But second time he performed coronation after conquering the war of succession and finishing all the brothers. So naturally his coronation took place twice. Gaurav.
विकास करें कि sir, please give information about the dynasty in south during Mughal period.
Dynasties, actually here you can say Ahmednagar. So in Ahmednagar you can say कि Bijapur and Golconda, these were the three states, and here you can say Vijayanagar Empire. So if you just go through the dynasties, so the long list of the kings here you can say. For example, you can say in Ahmednagar there was Nizam Shahi, in Bijapur Adil Shahi, in Golconda Qutub Shahi, and there was a long list of kings. It was not advisable for you to keep a long list of kings, because in political history they are not going to ask you the question simply which dynasty ruled in which region. You have to, I mean, Vijayanagar you can say Sangma dynasty, then Suluva dynasty, then Tuluva dynasty, and then you can say another. So here you can say, if you just go through the each and every king, so that will create a lot of confusion. So better to avoid it.
You see, carrying this, sir, I can't able to remember which Mughal ruler captured which state.
Very simple. Ab start from Babur and do some sort of intellectual fermentation. So Babur 2 to 3 wars he fought up to Bengal, you know. In Sirsa, you can say Sirsa created an empire from the border of Kashmir up to river Narmada and from river Indus to Bengal. But leave it. Then you are coming to Humayun, recaptured Humayun. So Humayun recaptured Punjab and Agra and Delhi. Then he died. Jaunpur. In Jaunpur, you come to know ki Adil Sasur and Hemu Vikramaditya fought a battle, you know. Then Akbar captured all the regions till the you can say from Kashmir to Barar Balaghat and from Kandahar, Kabul to Bengal. And then it was Shah Jahan who captured for the first time Ahmednagar and annexed Ahmednagar. And Aurangzeb you can say annexed Bijapur, Golconda. तो इतना ही तो annexation है, तो इसमें तुमको confusion कहाँ है? I don't know.
Sir, Shahjahan पूछ रही हैं कि sir, tell me about Vijayanagar and Bahmani Empire. Some problems in understanding.
हाँ, ये सब प्रॉब्लम शाहजहां होगी, लेकिन अगर सारे रूलर्स के बारे में बहमनी और विजयनगर में आपको बताऊं तो इट इज टू मच है. जैसे 40-50 उधर किंग्स होगा, 30-35 इधर किंग्स होगा, तो उतने किंग्स को क्या नाम याद रखना शाहजहां. अब देखो ये जैसे बहमनी है तो बहमनी हसन गंगू है. अब हसन गंगू के बाद जो हसन गंगू जिसको कहोगे बहमान शाह, ही वाज द रूलर. The successor of Bahman Shah in Bahmani states. Bahman Shah created at the time of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Here you can say Harihar and Bukka created Vijayanagar state, I have told you. So Bahman Shah, the successor of Bahman Shah was, you can say, Muhammad Shah. Or successor of Muhammad Shah was Mujadid Shah. And successor of Mujadid Shah was the Firoz Shah Bahmani. And the successor of Firoz Shah Bahmani was Ahmad Shah. Firoz Shah Bahmani was a competent ruler. He fought with Deva Rai the first, the Vijayanagar ruler. And his successor was, you know, Shahjahan, you are asking me the questions I'm telling. His successor was Ahmad Shah was Muzaffar Shah the third. And after that, this Bahmani empire was going to disintegrate. So it was disintegrated into the 5 parts in the early 15th century. One was, you can say, Bidar, Barar, Bijapur, Golconda, Ahmednagar, Bidar and Barar. In 5 parts it was divided. Then Bidar was recaptured by Ahmednagar. Bidar was captured by Ahmednagar. No, sorry, Barar was captured by Ahmednagar, annexed by Ahmednagar, and Bidar by Bijapur. तो अब 3 ही बच गए, Bijapur, Golconda and Ahmednagar. इधर जो विजयनगर स्टेट है तो हरिहर फर्स्ट रूल अप टू 30 स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 1336 to 1346 and he made the first extension after annexing Hoysala state. Then Bukka the first 1346 to 1350 in 1356 the Bukka the first. The Bukka the first captured, you can say, annexed the region of Madurai, so extension of Vijayanagar empire. And then successor of Bukka the first, you can say, then there was Fir Harihar the second. He was also a competent ruler. Then there came the Ramchandra, he was a weak ruler. Then Deva Rai the first and the Deva Rai second. And after Deva Rai second, there was the weak ruler, and then this dynasty ended. That was the Sangma dynasty. So comes Suluva dynasty. So Narsim Suluva was the founder of dynasty, and this dynasty came up to 1505. And then Tuluva dynasty, Veer Narasimha established this dynasty. And Tuluva dynasty में Veer Narasimha younger brother was Krisdev Rai. So he ruled between 1509 to 30. He was a great ruler. And the successor of Krisdev Rai was Achyut Dev Rai. He anyhow maintained the unity. But the successor of Achyut Dev Rai was Sadasiv Rai. But kingmaker was Rama Rai. But it was the time Vijayanagar Empire lost the battle in Talikota, Bijapur, Golconda, Ahmednagar. They defeated Vijayanagar and Rama Rai was killed in the battlefield and they started to plunder the capital. अभी भी हम्पी जाओगे विजयनगर में तो देखोगे पूरा लूटा हुआ है, पूरा आर्किटेक्चर वगैरह का भी टूटा हुआ है थोड़ा सा. And then the capital was transferred from Hampi, you can say, to Penkonda, and there was the ruler, you can say, that was Tirumal. So Arbidu dynasty, and after Arbidu dynasty then Odear dynasty. तो Odear dynasty was वही लास्ट था जिसको Odear dynasty को जो मैंने बताया था टीपू सुल्तान हटाया था, हैदर अली और टीपू सुल्तान ने, और उसने मैसूर पर कब्जा किया था. तो आप लोग को ये लगता है कि मैं किंग का नाम नहीं बताता हूं, मुझे तो सारा किंग का नाम याद है, लेकिन आपका ऑप्शनल नहीं है ना, और आपको इतना पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री से मतलब नहीं रखना चाहिए, आपको प्रैग्मेटिक होना चाहिए. और मैं आपको बता दूं कि जो ऑप्शनल भी जिनका होता है वो पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री से बहुत क्वेश्चन नहीं होता है, बहुत सिलेक्टिव पढ़ते हैं पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री में. तो अब किंग का है तो उसमें 15-20 नाम है, अब उसमें आपकी पूरी एनर्जी हरास हो जाएगी. तो मैं आपको बचा कर निकालता हूं, आप हमें कुरेदते हो कि सर फैक्ट दीजिए, और मैं तो पूरी मेरी कोशिश हिस्ट्री में आपको फैक्ट से बचाने पड़ी, लेकिन आप लोग एनालिसिस सीखिए. आपको क्या लगता है, मुझे तो सारे फैक्ट्स याद है, लेकिन मैं आपको क्यों नहीं देना चाहता हूं, इसकी कुछ वजह है ना.
सर सौरभ करें कि बिहार और बंगाल मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री में अलग हुआ तो मिडाइवल में अलग अलग क्यों है,
मतलब
क्वेश्चन यही है.
इस क्वेश्चन का आई कुड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड दिस क्वेश्चन. सौरभ प्लीज क्लैरिफाई द क्वेश्चन.
जतिन पूछ रहे हैं सर, रूलर्स ऑफ दिस एरा वेर ट्राइंग टू डेमोलिश द कंसेप्ट ऑफ मल्टी स्टेट सिस्टम.
In every era, the ruler is trying to create an empire, and whosoever is creating an empire that had to break the multi-state system, you know.
भावना कह रही है कि सर why Mughal not attempted to adopt other method of succession so revolt could not there.
So Bhavna, you have to ask this question to Mughal. What is the use of such questions? Are you not wasting our time?
Okay, sir.
Better to move to administration, my friends. Here you can say caliph. Actually, here I have to give you how the administration has to take place. First of all, let us start Delhi Sultanate. So I will make you clear. You will go through administration, and I will make you clear with the administration of Delhi Sultanate. Delhi Sultanate. Okay. And here you can see administrative structure. एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव स्ट्रक्चर, मैंने दिल्ली सल्तनत का जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव स्ट्रक्चर है वो क्या है कि सुल्तान वॉज एट द हेड ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. हु? सुल्तान, सॉरी कैलिफ. तो कैलिफ वॉज द फॉर्मल हेड, जिसको खलीफा बोलते हो, कैलिफ. ही वॉज द फॉर्मल हेड ऑफ द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, एंड बीनीथ द कैलिफ देयर वॉज सुल्तान. Beneath the caliph there was sultan. So actually during the early phase I have made you clear what relationship existed between caliph and sultan. So caliph was basically the titular head and sultan was the real head in one sense. Caliph was the religious and political head both. Sultan was, you can say, formally subordinated to caliph, but in actual sense sultan was free from the clutch of caliph. Then as you find the independent ruler, अब central administration, so you are just observing here central administration. So important department, अब सुल्तान में सेंट्रल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में you will find the important department. You will go through my study material in administration, you will be clear. Important departments. अब आप important departments को समझने का प्रयास करिए. तो important department में आपको लगता है कि दीवान ए विजारत, दीवान ए विजारत. What is Diwan e Wizarat? This was the department of Wazir, and this was basically a revenue department. This department was accountable for the collecting revenue, maintaining the, you can say, account of income and expenditure, and collection of revenue. So this department, and who was the head of the department? The Diwan. Diwan was the head. No, sorry, Wazir, not Diwan, Wazir. Wazir was the head. Wazir. Then next one, Diwan e Insa. Diwan e Insa. What was the work of Diwan e Insa? Diwan e Insa was accountable for रॉयल कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस, मतलब यह राजकीय पत्राचार से जुड़ा हुआ था. जैसे दीवान ए विजारत है तो वह राजस्व रेवेन्यू के रख रखाव, कलेक्शन, असेसमेंट और आय व्यय का ब्यौरा, इनकम एक्सपेंडिचर का अकाउंट रखता था. और दीवान ए इंसा था, ये रॉयल कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस है, राजकीय पत्राचार से जुड़ा हुआ डिपार्टमेंट था. और इसका जो हेड हुआ करता था उसको कहते थे दबीर ए मुमालिक. इसका हेड था दबीर ए मुमालिक. फिर तीसरा डिपार्टमेंट था दीवान ए आरिज या दीवान ए अर्ज. दीवान ए आरिज या दीवान ए अर्ज, और इसका जो हेड था वो कौन था? तो बेसिकली मतलब ये दीवान ए आरिज या दीवान ए अर्ज ये सैन्य विभाग था. इट वाज द मिलिट्री डिपार्टमेंट. और इसका जो हेड था उसका नाम था आरिज ए मुमालिक. आरिज ए मुमालिक. और चौथा डिपार्टमेंट था दीवान ए रिसालत. दीवान ए रिसालत. अब व्हाट वाज द नेचर ऑफ दीवान ए रिसालत? अ बिट कंट्रोवर्शियल बिकॉज सम इवन ट्राई टू, हबीबुल्लाह ट्राई टू प्रूव इट कि इट वाज ए एक्सटर्नल अफेयर डिपार्टमेंट, बट नॉट. इट वाज ए रिलीजियस डिपार्टमेंट. रिलीजियस माने इट वाज अकाउंटेबल फॉर रिलीजियस डोनेशन and particularly religious charity, and its head was Sadr, is Chief Sadr या Sadr us Sudr. Sadr us Sudr or Chief Sadr was the head of the department, and normally you can say कि it was that to the Chief Sadr कि an additional post was given to the Chief Sadr, and this the post was the Chief Kaji. प्राय जो मुख्य सद्र या सद्र उस सुद्र होता था और काजी का पद होता था वो एक ही व्यक्ति को दिया जाता था, काजी का पद और सद्र शूद्र का पद. तो माय स्टूडेंट्स विल कम टू नो कि दीज वर द 4 इंपॉर्टेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स. एंड देन आफ्टर दिस डिपार्टमेंट इन सेंट्रल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन दीवान ए विजारत, दीवान ए इंसा, दीवान ए, एंड देन यू कम टू नो कि वेरियस डिपार्टमेंट एस्टेब्लिश फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम. अब यू पीपल विल गो थ्रू इट एंड दैट इज अ वेरी क्लियर. यू हैव टू गो थ्रू इट. तो हियर यू विल कम टू रियलाइज the different departments, you know, that is different departments established from time to time. Established from time to time बहुत ही क्लियर कट आपका दिया हुआ है मटेरियल में. टाइम टू टाइम केवल आप लोग अगर उसको देख लो थोड़ा सा तो देखो कितना क्लियर कट दिया हुआ है. जैसे डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स एस्टेब्लिश फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम. दीवान वकूफ. अब दीवान वकूफ दैट वाज एस्टेब्लिश्ड बाय जलालुद्दीन खलजी. यू हैव टू, इफ यू हैव टू राइट तो यू कैन राइट फ्रॉम हियर कि दीवान वकूफ इट वाज एस्टेब्लिश्ड बाय जलालुद्दीन खलजी. व्हाट वाज इट? इट्स यू कैन से इट वाज एक्सक्लूसिवली अकाउंटेबल फॉर असेसमेंट ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर. मैंने असेसमेंट ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर को एस्टिमेट करने के लिए, असेस करने के लिए इस डिपार्टमेंट को किसने स्थापित किया था? जलालुद्दीन खलजी. बस ध्यान रखिए. दीवान मुस्तखराज it was established by whom? It was established by Alauddin Khalji. What was its function? It had to, you can say, collect the arrears. जो बकाया राशि होती थी उसकी वसूली के लिए इस डिपार्टमेंट को दीवाने मुस्तखराज को इसने एस्टेब्लिश किया था. Diwan-e Riyasat. This department was established by whom? Alauddin Khilji. For what? For market control policy. Alauddin Khilji established a market. So in order to control the market, he had to follow this market control policy. Actually, in order to fulfill the requirement of the army, in economy, I will make you clear. In economy, he created a market, the 3 markets, and for that he created a department, Diwan-e Riyasat. And Diwan-e Kohi, this department was established by Muhammad bin Tughlaq, because Muhammad bin Tughlaq had to carry the agriculture in Doab region, progressive agriculture. So for carrying progressive agriculture, this department was created by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Then Diwan-e Khairat. This department was created by whom? Firoz Shah Tughlaq, for welfare work. It used to provide the economic assistance for the poor Muslims at the time of the marriage of his daughter. Diwan-e Istihaq, it was a pension department. It used to give old age pension to old Muslim, you can say the old men. And then Diwan-e Bandagan, it was a department for keeping slaves. It was established by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. So Diwan-e Khairat, Diwan-e Istihaq or Diwan-e Bandagan, they were established by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. So that was, and then the other departments. So my students, you have to go through this administration. Then after that you can say Ikta system, local administration, then Mughal system. So ये आप एक बार इससे हो लेना, बहुत आसान है और आपको क्लैरिटी बिल्कुल आ जाएगी. और मैं फिर कल क्लास में करूंगा तो आप यू विल बी क्लियर. लोकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, सरकार, फतेहपुर बहुत क्लियर है. मनसबदारी, देन आई विल डिस्कस टुमारो एंड डिफरेंट थिंग्स. ओके, so I'll see you tomorrow. Up to today time is over, my students. Okay, good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.